Halloween horror classic on stage in Falmouth. If you were watching earlier, we found out more about a comedic twist on vampires at the Public Theatre. Now a reimagining of the classic story is coming to Footlights Theatre. Dracula, Mark of the Vampire starts in just a few weeks.
Now here to tell us more about it is the theater's executive artistic director, Michael J. Tobin, and the Dracula himself, Daniel Rennie. Thanks for coming in today. Before we get things going, you're playing Dracula. Give us your best Dracula laugh.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Okay, that gets me going. That gets me excited.
That gets you into it right away.
Right.
Sets the scene.
Yes. So let's talk about the show and what people can expect.
Unlike the Public Theater, we are doing traditional Dracula. We are going to hopefully scare the blood out of people. The way our theater is set up, it's very intimate. That's what makes us special. The front row is actually right on stage. So because we're doing the traditional Dracula, people are going to not only see it, they're going to experience it. And it's going to be this close.
Oh, wow.
So
should we wear a scarf? If we
wear a scarf,
okay,
absolutely. We're going to do some unique things with it in that we're going to light most of it by lanterns and candlelight as opposed to stage lighting, so that there'll be lots of wonderful shadows and there'll be lots of special effects. It's much more traditional to the book. I spent 12 years trying to find the right script, and finally it came into my hands this past year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm very excited. A playwright named Jason Brooks out of New York City. And the reason that I love it is because it transfers so well to the stage. It's understandable. It's not long speeches like in the book. It moves right along, and it's scary and thrilling and at times funny, and lots of special effects. And when you're this close, it's so real.
Right.
We're really excited.
Well, you play Dracula in the show.
I do.
Now, do you try to, get in character when you're outside the theater at home to practice it all? You're around the house, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, when I drop my son off at pre-K, I get about an hour and a half to really just kind of dive into the character, and no one else is home, and I can, start rolling my R's. And
You don't wake him up like that?
No, he definitely wakes me up every
That might
day.
be a little scary.
How is it getting this gig, and how much fun is it?
It's a lot of fun. Growing up, we didn't celebrate Halloween in my house. So this is me at 47 taking Halloween back in a big way.
Amazing. Why do you think that Dracula in general is so iconic and memorable and something people look forward to seeing?
I think when you think Halloween, you think vampires and Frankenstein and ghosts, and there are so many. I just read this morning there are over 70 film adaptations of Dracula all over the world. Lots of stage productions. And of course, I think probably Bela Lugosi is the most famous Dracula out there. And certainly there have been variations on, like there was a feature on another network called Renfield, that dealt with that character's life. And so I think it's a Halloween staple.
When you take the part of Dracula, it's a little part scary, a little part romantic. Talk about everything that goes into playing that part.
Well, in working with Michael, he's really stressed that there is a lot of seduction. It's not necessarily sexual, but it's a seduction that is happening, and he is seducing and entrancing his victims, his brides, as it were, and his jackals that will do his bidding when he wants to feed. So, it's a little bit like trying on a new character. It's interesting.
Yeah, fascinating. And can you tell us a little bit more about the theater itself?
Sure. We are we're celebrating our 12th season, 12 years. We're year-round professional. We seat 75, and literally just 4 rows of seats. So even the last row is only 12 feet from the stage. It's wonderful for the audience because they get to experience it, but also it's great for the performers because they can't hide like on a big theater, and it also makes it very challenging for us because things like special effects have to be done so well so that the audience doesn't see it. We do theater, we do musicals, concerts, we do film, independent films are viewing there. We do comedy nights, a little bit of everything so we can hit every patron demographic.
Love it.
How is being a part of this theater? How much fun is it?
I've done a play there earlier this year. It was my first time there, and I like to say that you're close enough to the action that you can actually smell the action. You're right up in the front, and it's great. It's unlike any other theater that I've ever worked with.
Yeah, it truly sounds like a very unique experience. Let everybody know where they can buy tickets and when the show begins and where you're located.
Sure. We begin actually 2 weeks from tonight.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and it runs through the first week of November. We are doing an additional performance on the 30th, which is a Wednesday night. Normally we perform Thursdays at 7, Fridays at 7:30, and Saturdays at 2 and 7:30. You can call us direct. We are one of those old-fashioned theaters where you actually get to talk to people. And the phone number there is 747-5434, or go right online, the Footlights Theatre, and that's theater spelled with an RE.com.
Do you have a performance on Halloween too?
We do.
Ooh,
We do, and tickets are selling fast.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, limited seating. You only seat 75.
Okay, all right, get those tickets.
One last laugh.
I love it. Oh, so fun. I'm so excited for Halloween now.
Yeah, absolutely. With Dracula, doubles our
Yes.
pleasure today. Huh?
Thank
Twice
you
as
both
nice.
so much. We appreciate your
welcome.
time.